Well, hello, everybody. Once again, y'all are probably wondering why the hell isn't Carlo talking right now? That's because, well, it's Carlo's 3-ish years off right now for being the head of the campaign. For those of you who don't know, my name's Dan. Some of you may know me online as Silver. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. But this time, we are doing a brand new campaign in a brand new homebrew world that this time is not a fandom campaign. We're not doing a fandom campaign this time. This time we are doing Fury of the Outlands. D&D 5th edition campaign as usual because, well, I think everyone can agree that Wizards is kind of off their rocker, and one D&D is probably not going to take off because of all the various shit going on. You didn't hear that from me. Aside from that, Lord knows how long this is going to be, but you're stuck with me until we finish it. So buckle up, because this is going to be an interesting one. Not only that, we have a new member to our party, Jerome. Thanks for being with us. And I am so sorry for all the trauma you are going to have to go through in the future, but also not really.
Oh, I'm happy to be a guinea pig.
Hey, no, before you, it was Roz. Before you, it was Roz during our Kingdom Hearts campaign, which is now instilling the tradition that whenever I'm a DM, we apparently get a new recruit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
next time
because
you
before
DM, I'll
Roz-
bring in someone else.
Oh god, we already have 7 people in this campaign. We don't need more than that. Even Critical Role doesn't really go that much higher. That being said, I know I said we have 7 in this campaign, and right now there's 5.
You're really good at counting.
Shut up.
Make me.
One of our party members is running a little bit late, and then another one isn't going to be showing up till next week. I'm not going to say who, because you're just going to figure it out anyway. That being said, I think that's it. We don't really have any other introductions or scheduling thing to talk about. So, who's ready to dive into this campaign?
Me.
Oh, we got me swimming.
All right. So, along the northern hemisphere of the world of Mithrin lies the continent of Ekra. Here is where the world's most powerful forces of spell tech sit. Whether it's the ever-building factories of the Zealous Dominion or the bustling streets of the Tyrian Republic. But to the sort of northern east of this continent lie the ruins of a once mighty empire. One that fell during a time known as the Era of Silence, when no god or source or even drop of magical energy were seen within the material plane. With the empire fallen, and their capital city just suddenly vanishing, the nation fell and became a wasteland for raiders and scavengers. Wasteland known as the Outlands. Now I have to roll something.
The first roll.
No, this doesn't count. Okay. we cut over to a settlement within sort of the southeastern area. A trading post known as Baron's Rest. This settlement is a sanctuary to those who are outside of the major raider clans, and is a good source for trading resources, getting information, or maybe doing some bounty quests. Right now, we're not really focusing on that too much. We go to the more residential area of the Rest, to a small house. It's about sort of the early hours of the morning / late hours of the night. And so far in this house, almost all of the lights are out, save for one. We zoom in to where the light is illuminating the part of the house, and inside we see an office area. Scattered tomes, various pieces of paper with scrawlings, maps. And sitting over a desk, we see our first player character. Carlo, would you like to introduce your character?
Gladly. Sitting at the desk, looking over various tomes and magic notes and runes and things like this, is Yuri Volkanov. He's a Fire Ganassi barbarian. He sort of has... His skin is sort of like a layer of molten rock directly above lava. He looks almost a little bit like, if anyone is a fan of like Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, he looks almost a little like Demise. And he's got this sort of like flaming hair, and his eyes are sort of linked with like a spectral flame. And he's absolutely fucking jacked. He is wearing kind of like traditional sort of like adventurer's garb, kind of like this. He's got a shirt on that definitely hasn't passed, I would say, the sniff test.
Ew.
These sort of brown trousers, and he's been working late into the night, and definitely missed dinner the previous night with his wife and kids, because he's been trying to figure something out in his office.
And with that said, first off, hi Angel, glad you can make it.
I am so incredibly sorry, everyone. Something fucking came up, but I'm here now. I'm here, and
Did you enjoy my spamming?
yes, I'm glad you actually called me, because freaking, I had to
I knew.
If I didn't hear that, I would have rushed back. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Before you guys continue onto that, I want everyone except for Carlo to go into the backrooms chat, if you could, please.
Okay.
Am I in trouble?
No, you're not. This is just how I'm starting the character introductions. I'm taking a page out of Matt Mercer's book from Campaign 3, because that's like the only part, because the first episode of that's like the only one that I first saw. So, Yuri, you are sitting at your desk. You've most likely been here all night. Most definitely probably spent at least part of the day here as well. You're scouring over books, various notes that you've taken, and overall you are so entrenched in your studies for right now that you don't really think that anything is going to kind of break you out of this. And you hear a knock at the door. Yuri? You still in there?
Yuri perks up, like moves like a few books out of the way, looks over at the door. Yes, still in here, yes.
You see the door opens and you see your wife, Natasha, come out, a plate of food and a glass of water in her hand. She looks and is like, "You forgot to eat dinner again. I figured I may as well come and bring it to you, seeing as you haven't left this place in quite a bit." She sets the plate of food and the glass of water on the table next to your notes.
Oh, thank you, Natasha. I'm sorry. I missed. I didn't mean to. I've just been. Things have been crazy. You know, I'm sure.
Yes, I do. She looks out the doorframe, possibly seeing if the kids are sort of around, closes the door, looks to you. You can see she has this sullen, concerned look on her face, and she goes, "Yuri, we need to talk."
Darling, if this is about me overworking again, we have this argument, we have this argument every other day, and I know it's not good to overwork myself, but I feel...
Yuri, please, just let me say this, as I know that this is important to you. I know trying to figure this out means everything. But there are still times where you are here for days on end. Not too long ago, you were in here for almost 2 weeks. It's getting concerning.
It's just... I can't fathom the thought of you or Alexander or Katerina having to get by on your own without me. If there's something I can do to prevent it...
Yuri, you've been looking for years. I know that you don't want the same thing to happen to our kids that happened to you, but each time you get like this, you end up spending less and less time with the kids. I mean, did you even know that Alexander ended up going to the bazaar earlier today and got in trouble?
He did what?
That's exactly my point, Yuri. She walks closer to the desk from where the door is, puts her hand on the desk where all of your stacks of notes or books are. This is taking up too much time of your life.
Yuri looks down at his books for a second, stands, walks over, and pulls her into a hug, and looks at her and says, "Natasha, this family is... I want you to understand, you and our kids are the most important I just want to be prepared for the inevitability that one day I might be.
You bear too much of a burden on your shoulders, Yuri. Yes, I understand where you are coming from, but it still gives me concern, and not only that, it gives our children concern. When was the last time you... I don't know, just got to actually be around your kids lately? When was the last time you talked to Katerina? When was the last time you played catch with Alexander?
I don't know.
And that is my point. I know things can change overnight or within a short time period, but can you at least try to spend more time with us and not with this?
I know I've said before that try, and I may have failed, but this time, when he looks deep in her eyes,
Excuse me.
this time it will be different. I will try. Natasha, I will. But I want you to promise me that if I don't find the answer and you have, just promise that you won't hate me.
She takes her hand and puts it to the side of your face, gives you a smile and goes, Yuri Volkanov, there is nothing within these Outlands, or even within this plane, that would cause me to hate you.
Yuri smiles and pulls her in for a kiss. And after a moment, looks at her and goes, staying in this office would be a good idea. Although, I don't think I should skip out on eating your cooking. Something tells me you'd be very upset with me if I did.
You better believe it. And once you're done, you are going straight to bed and changing out to these clothes. Like, how long have you been wearing this now?
I don't.
Just kind of takes takes a sniff and just kind of scrunches her face, realizing, yeah, no, you've been in that shirt for a while.
Yuri's like, okay. Fine. Eat, change, bed. Yes, ma'am. I promise.
Good. She smiles, opens the door, leaves it still ajar, and makes her way out of the office and to your bedroom.
Sits at his desk for a brief moment, eats his sort of dinner, breakfast more like, because it's early in the morning, and after finishing, organizes his like tomes and runes and shit, puts it all in kind of like one stack, takes off his shirt, he's like, oh yeah, okay, that has to go. And then
Can you do me a favor and tag Roz and Angel? And then, yeah, for recording purposes, I need you to kind of stay in here, if that's all right. Just walk away from the console.
Take my headphones off.
Yeah.
Taking my headphones
All right, thank you. Hey, gang. Okay.
Is it?
So, first off, you guys are in trouble.
Oh.
Usual?
No.
That's usual.
You guys are fine. I just decided to try and do this for character intros, taking a page out of Mercer's book from campaign 3. Moving on. We move out from Yuri's house and from Baron's Rest. Quite a bit of ways, actually, in sort of the wastes area of the Outlands. We cut to... It's still night, or late night, early morning. We cut to a sort of makeshift camp. Set up only to maybe last throughout the night, to break down, and then build back up when necessary, break it down to be able to get out. Sort of on the sort of outer area of this camp, we do see what looks to be a vehicle of some sort. And from there, we move closer to the camp and we meet you two. So let's start with Angel. Would you like to introduce your character?
Yes, I would. Okay. Hello. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that shit. For the people at home who don't know, my name is Angel. I'm playing Arakion Hresvelger Zandiri. Long name, I get it. He is a Drakenry artillerist artificer. And my boy, he's decked out in like scales and dragon shit. He has green, scaly skin, very rough to the touch. Spikes on his head, more like horns, kind of, just curling back and such. Red, thick, luscious beard, like full of like you can tell this man has been in a few fights, a hell of a lot of fights. Just all red and crimson. Same color with his hair, but instead his hair is more kept. It's more like, shiny than his beard. And when he, his hairstyle is more slicked back and it's tied into like a little like man bun. Freaking are like fiery marbles. He's like looking at you with the most devilish stare you can imagine. And yeah, he has his car, the Desert Cruiser, and his little baggie that he keeps everything in, his duffel bag. Also, he's like really
and
big,
Roz.
really big and like strapped.
Roz, would you like to introduce your character as well?
Absolutely. Bigby is a green, sort of speckled kobold, and he's not even quite 2.5 feet. He doesn't even reach that. He's got yellow eyes, and he's dressed in this sort of like mismatch of hand-sewn clothing and like children's clothing to fit him. And he is at Arakion's side.
Now, as it is sort of close to late night, early morning, which one of you would most likely be sort of standing watch for the period?
Usually when we go on these camps, Arakion usually volunteers to stay up late whilst Big B gets the rest. So I don't know, Big B, would this be an exception, or would it be the usual thing where I keep watch?
It would probably be you.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll keep watch.
So, Rakion, you are standing watch. Your eyes are darting from the campfire, the cruiser, Big B, the surrounding area. I'm going to need you to roll me a perception check, if you would.
Okay, so you said which roll?
Perception.
Okay. If my internet's acting a little fucky-wucky, so please bear with me. Did you get it?
Not yet. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you don't see anything sort of out of the ordinary. Like, you don't see any, like, bandits or raiders anywhere close. You get the feeling that there aren't really going to be any at the moment. I mean, you might come across, like, maybe a couple of, like, smaller animals sort of skittering about and whatnot, but nothing that would kind of pose as a threat at the current moment. But what you do see is sort of the first bits of sunlight starting to pierce across the night sky. It's slowly starting to become morning, and I'm going to say that you for certain know that the drive from where you are to Baron's Rest is probably going to take you better part of the early morning, to where you're probably going to be able to get there sometime, maybe late morning, early afternoon, if you get too close to leaving sooner than later.
Okay. All right, so then Arakion's, since he doesn't really notice anything, he's just gonna get up, and once he sees like the crack of dawn and you can see like the sun, he's gonna get up, put out the little fire that he had, and start packing things up before he actually starts to wake him. So he's gonna spend a good like 20 minutes just gathering everything, like pretty much putting things where they need to, and after that he's gonna go and wake Big B up.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, you spend some time gathering your stuff, dousing the fire, putting everything to the cruiser. Good 20 minutes, everything's pretty much set, ready to go. Big B, you're having I'd say you're most likely having a fairly decent sleep. I don't know what kobolds dream of, but next thing you know, you feel the sort of being jostled, stirring yourself out. You open your eyes and you see that Arakion is stirring you awake, and you can see after blinking your eyes a couple of times that camp is pretty much packed out and put into the cruiser at this point.
You couldn't have woken me up earlier?
I just wanted to make sure you get the optimum amount of sleep that you need. It was only
Less work for me. Gonna slide my goggles down so I can actually see in the morning light.
Come then.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, it is like the crack of dawn, so you can still see without your goggles. But yeah, once it kind of gets brighter, you know that it's best to definitely keep them on your head more than not.
Mm-hmm.
Baron's Rest isn't too far from here, so prepare for a big trip.
I'm always prepared.
All right then.
So, you guys get into the cruiser. Arakion, you settle yourself into the driver's seat. Bigby, you're riding shotgun. You start to begin your drive just as the sun sort of finally starts to emerge from out beyond the horizon, and you guys travel your way to the settlement of Baron's Rest. You continue to drive for the better part of that early morning. So far, it doesn't seem like there's not much to prevent you from going straight to the rest. I mean, you do see, like I said, you do see occasional animals, nomads every once in a while. You do hear the occasional sounds of what appears to be raiders going off on a hunt somewhere, but it's either too far off or you just want to be sure to keep your distance. And then eventually you do make your way to Baron's Rest. Let me get actually back onto sheet. Yeah, so you sort of drive your way in. It's a bit of a smaller settlement, but it's probably more of a decent size in comparison to most. Getting a cruiser isn't too big, so it is sort of able to go through most of the, for lack of a better word, streets within the rest. Where do you guys think you're going to be heading to first within the rest?
Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, we kind of just left and didn't really eat. Would that be like the first thing that we would want to do? Like, I'd just head inside and just grab a bite.
Seems reasonable to me.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we head into.
yeah, so you, Rakion, you've been to Baron's Rest a couple of times before. You kind of know the layout a little bit. You park your cruiser at a good distance, and you get out and make your way over to a tavern known as the Sandy Drider. You know that, Rakion, you know that this is probably one of the only decent places to get a somewhat decently cooked meal and not have to worry about it maybe either being poisoned or from one of the sort of, for lack of better words, contaminated areas of the Outlands. You make your way into the Sandy Drider, and you see that as it is the early morning, there isn't really a lot of other patrons in here, save for maybe a couple that passed out overnight. The both of you do end up having the whiffs of food that smells like it's actually being cooked, minorly and you can kind of get the small amount of flavorings from seasoning as you smell it too. And next thing you know, you see a woman, another Draconry, like a rat, but this time with black scales, come out with a bell in her hand, starts ringing it, and she's like, "All right, those of you who are hungover, get the fuck out." You see the other patrons are just kind of groaning, like some of them are just starting to wake up, and she's like, yeah, save it. You know the rules. If you're hungover in the morning, then you don't, either you get food or you get the fuck out.
It seems like we made it perfectly on time then.
You see the woman looks over to you. Yeah, Rakian, you've been here before. You've been here a couple of times before. You know who this is. This woman's name is Callie. She looks over to you and is like, "Oh, I was wondering when you guys show up for another restock."
Yes, well, we're not necessarily here for a restock. We were called here by something. So we decided to come here, and because it is quite early and we haven't really eaten, we thought you might be able to hook us up with something good.
Yeah. Sit down at a table. I'll get you something. And after that, she walks away with the bell in her hand. You see the couple of patrons who are still hungover either also decide to get something to eat or they just end up leaving. You two set yourself in one of the decently, not really many, but there's at least a good more open tables than there are ones that have the sort of drunken patrons in. From this angle, you can see that there are about maybe 5 or so tables in total. And then there's the bar, which has a few seats alongside it itself. Then off to the side, you see the bounty board, which has a good amount of papers sort of strewn across it.
Alright, he's gonna look
Should
at
we check
Bigby.
it while we're here?
Wait, say again?
Should we check it while we're here?
It's a pretty good idea. I'm always excited every time we come in here to see the bounties.
Some interesting characters for sure.
So you guys make your way over to the bounty board. You see that there are a few that are actually posted up that look like they're sort of a bit more newer. You see one that is asking to track down a outlaw. You see one in regards to some lost cargo. Arakion, I want you to give me another perception check, if you would.
Got you. And shit. Goddamn.
All right. Never mind. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like most of these are. Most of these look like they appear to be bounties for just various different low, unclanned bandits for the most part that have been trying to make a name for themselves outside of the clans in the Outlands.
Nothing fun this time.
Yeah. Well, I chose last time, so therefore, he looks down at you. It's your go.
All right. Merchandise? We could maybe get a piece of it.
That's a fun one. And he's gonna grab it from the board, and he's gonna take a closer look. Actually, no, he's gonna pass it to you.
Okay, so Bigby, as you're reading this, it says that it kind of talks about how a caravan group, was attacked by a group of raiders and ended up stealing some valuable cargo. The bounty in itself is saying that asking anyone to help track down the bandits that took him and to bring it back to the caravan group, hopefully unspoiled.
Yeah, it seems like we could do this.
Alrighty then. What does it say down there below the report?
As you guys are reading this, it doesn't really say much in terms of reward. It just says, it does says willing to negotiate for reward, but you don't see a actual number for gold or supplies.
Alright, we'll take this one then.
Just about that time, you see Callie comes out with a couple of plates of food and says, "All right, which table are you two sitting at?"
Wherever there's a table.
All right, fair enough.
And you can see him chuckle to himself.
You see she sets it down on the table, kind of not that far from the bounty board, looks over to you, Arakion, and goes, "Hey, mind if I actually talk to you for a quick sec?"
Yeah.
Then kind of looks over to the kobold and is like, "This one also know about, the thing?"
He's looking a little like he's looking at he's looking at Callie with like a questioned look. What do you mean?
About your old connections.
Oh yes, we've known each other for years. He knows everything.
Well, this actually makes it easy then. You see Callie pulls up a chair to your table, sits down, kind of sort of Riker style, looks to you, Arakion, and goes, "Look, I know it's not really my business and whatnot, but a couple of days ago, we had a group come in here not too long ago, asking to put up a bounty."
Okay, sounds like normal biz.
Yeah, no. Here's the cinch. The bounty was out on you.
On me?
Yeah.
For?
Look, I don't know. I don't know much about you aside from your old connections and whatnot, but whatever it was, you must have really pissed him off.
Well, did they successfully put up this bounty?
They thought they did, and took it down.
Thank you.
Look, I don't know what you did to piss them off or whatnot, but the reward was a year's worth of supplies.
When's the last time we've even seen them?
Long time ago.
Look, I don't know if they're still here.
Oh, sorry.
Look, I don't know if they're still here or not, but I thought may as well just warn you anyway. Lord knows we try and keep as much of issues between clans outside of the rest and whatnot, but that can only get so far. It's not like we really have a dedicated lawkeeper here.
I understand. Thank you. I appreciate it for keeping them off my back. And I will try my best to try to keep this away from the rest. Wouldn't want to bring trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble everywhere else.
if it wasn't the bounty on you, I might have taken the damn job myself. I mean, years worth of supplies. Do you know how much?
Yeah.
Do you know how long that'd be able to last for people out here?
You'd be one of the wealthiest people in the Outlands.
Exactly. The hell'd you do to piss these guys off?
It's not about what I did. It's more about what happened between us.
Well, whatever the case is, good chance they didn't post it just here. I'm guessing a bunch of other settlements got the same post, so keep your eye out.
I shall. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Oh, and for the record, that communication you got technically was through me. No, not exactly. I was just acting as a sort of middle person. I'll explain a little bit later, but if you like, you can stay here. You can head over to docks to get some stuff if you want, but there's still a couple of others that need to get dragged into this, but yeah. In the meantime, do whatever the fuck you want.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean by others need to get dragged into this? Like, my business, or?
Oh, no, not like that. The thing that I called you for, not your business. Look, I know better than to get other people into other people's business. I mean, if that was the case, the rest would probably be in flames.
Well, I mean, fair warning that we mostly are a solo act. Or, I guess, a duet, but...
Okay, I know,
we don't do very well with others.
I know, but in this case, person asked for more than just one or two, and you were one of the few that were on the top of the list, so suck it up, deal with it, and at least listen to the damn job, okay?
He looks to Bigby. What do you make of this?
I think we could do any job by ourselves. But I'm willing to listen.
Alright then.
Alright. Well, sit tight then. It's gonna be a bit of a wait, most likely. She gets up from her chair and makes her way back throughout the tavern to either help with taking orders or for whatever else that she was doing.
And the Raytheon's kind of like looking down at his food, and it's just like, those damn lions.
Why would they bring up stuff from so long ago?
I don't know. Why bring their business and trying to... If the rumors are true, which he says, there are other places with this bounty. Why? What would they need me for?
Maybe something's come up.
Oh yes. The thing that's come up is my head, and they want it, apparently.
Good thing they just won't get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, let's eat up and we can head over to get some supplies before this thing that she wants us for comes up.
Alright. Time to do shopping, my least favorite activity.
What? Your least favorite? I love shopping. I think that finding and exploring new wares that others have is just such a fun pastime.
So much standing and thinking about what you're gonna buy. Just buy it.
Well, you gotta know if things fit, the way they do, especially when you're in the line of work that I am. You can't just order anything and expect it to work.
Look, this is why it's your job and not mine.
Well, maybe you'll have something there for you. Maybe a cool new hat.
A hat? That was your best guess?
I don't know. I don't know how much you like hats.
We've been traveling together for this long, and you think my first thought would be a hat?
It's been a rough morning.
All right,
And he
I'll let you pass
He
this
chuckles.
one.
But yeah, he's gonna carry on eating and still think to himself and about everything that happened as well, kind of like having flashbacks in his mind.
That being said, would you be so kind to dip out and then grab Jerome if you could?
Good luck, Jerome.
Good luck. All right.
Chicken McNuggets.
I have been summoned.
Yes, you have. You're in trouble.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
So, after pulling out from Baron's Rest over Arakion and Begbie, we sort of cut to black. And we hear the sounds of what appears to be commotion. Everything fades back in, and all we see is red for the most part. Sounds of conflict, of things bashing into other things. Goes to black again. Fades back in, and we see bodies of a few people laying on the ground. From the view, we are over them. The sound of panting breath, as if they've been a part of it and has just finally been able to catch their breath now. Look even further down, we see a set of hands, bruised, bloody. And then, all of a sudden, you're snapped out of the dream, Terrace. Would you like to introduce your character?
Absolutely. Yes. My character is called Terrace Lyria, and he's going to be a high half-elf mercenary recruit with a class of paladin. Do I say a part of the backstory as well, or
just the character description?
Okay. Did I then do it already?
No, like physical description.
Oh, right. So Taris takes a bit off of, you could say, like a very mature, older Link from The Legend of Zelda, with a bit more elvish looks about him. He is wearing a blue set of his armor, which comes from his hometown, which he had to fight really hard to keep when he left the town for several reasons. He might seem not the most buff if you see him at first sight. However, behind that a bit smaller armor is definitely someone who has been trained. But I think that's about it.
So, Terrace, you awake from your dream. It's not uncommon for you. It still gives you a bit of a startle every once in a while, but the dream itself is not entirely new to you. You've had this dream plenty before, ever since leaving your hometown. Where you are right now is in sort of a back of a caravan. You see there are several other people sitting around as the driver of this caravan is sitting sort of more on the outside, having the caravan being pulled by a couple of horses as it's making its way across the Outlands. The ride itself is not entirely smooth, as the ground itself is severely rocky, so it shakes the caravan every once in a while, jostling the people inside. I'd say there are about 3 other people in the caravan with you. You see one of them, the one sort of closest next to you, a man with sort of reptilian scales sort of spattered across his body, kind of looks over to you and is like, "Oh, easy there, man. You doing okay?"
Oh wait, did I come in here? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. It's just the usual. Had a rough night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you to expect? We live in the middle of a goddamn wasteland, but...
I hope we can make it a better place soon enough.
You sound like one of those folks that are from the other side of the border. Trust me, they like to believe that there's something else out there, but let's face it, we're all pretty much stuck here if we're born here.
If we're born here, I totally agree.
And even if you're not, you're still likely to be stuck here anyway. But who am I to complain?
There has been some talks around town, right? Leaving this place?
Oh, sure. Every once in a while, there's a group of some of the marked people that try and make their way out, cross the border again, but, either they get shot down or they just end up making their way back here again.
Do you perhaps know any of the group names that are involved in this?
Well, I know the Marked Militia has been trying to figure things out, same with the Lions of the Sands, but as for any of groups that are not within, well, not a part of a clan, well, hell if I know, but I will say that trying to find information is definitely one of my more strong suits.
Really? What's your name?
Oh, you can call me Crowley.
Carly, nice to meet you. I'm Taurus.
Taurus. You don't happen to be part of any of the clans out here, do you?
No, definitely not. I haven't been able to get in touch with a lot of them, to be honest. But maybe, who knows?
Well, I got a few connections. I got a few connections with Wyvernax, adjacent occasionally to the Lions, but yeah, if you ever need to get in a word with any of them or just any information, I travel around a lot. Wouldn't be out of my way, but it does come with a price, I will say.
Yeah, of course. In this place, nothing is free anymore. Are you not associated with any of the Raider clans?
That's exactly. You see, I keep tabs on a few of them every once in a while, but I don't really consider myself a part of any specific one. Well, to be honest, it just seems, not really my kind of thing. And besides, I got my own kind of goals to look for, and personally doesn't really rely on any of the clans out here. And besides, one of them would probably not even want to help me in a certain way anyway.
A specific goal in the Outlands, aside from leaving the Outlands?
Well,
cannot
leaving or
imagine-
survival.
Yeah, okay.
Leaving or
Sure.
survival are the main two, yes. But, as a matter of fact, I'm actually looking for someone.
What are you looking someone for?
For lack of better words, we all kind of separated on sort of some rough circumstances, and honestly, I just kind of lost contact with him. But, I got a feeling he's somewhere out here.
Might some say old friends?
Some might say.
Okay. I always think having a good connection with friends is definitely something you can profit from. Especially if you're going this far out in the Outlands and the outskirts, you must have a good reason to see them.
Like I said, kind of separated on not so good terms, but, well, hoping to see what'll come of it afterwards, but in the meantime, I still travel around, make sure to get as much of the, well, for lack of better words, to get as much of the gossip around other parts of the Outlands as I can.
Knowledge is definitely power. Do you have a description and maybe a name of the person? I can keep a lookout for him or her. Or is it a more
Honestly, I'm not.
sensitive matter?
It is definitely a bit more sensitive, and honestly, I don't even know if the person is even going by either. I don't even know if they're going by their name or some other nickname or alias at this point. I appreciate the thought, though, but I think this is something I might want to try and figure out on my own, if that's all right.
Totally. Makes total sense. It's a two-way street, right? If I need the information of you, I'll always make sure to get some tidbits back.
There's always someone out here that knows me. Never needs. Like I said, I got a good amount of connections throughout the Outlands.
We'll definitely keep that in mind. But then also we'll keep in mind the coin that I have in my bag.
After conversing with Crowley for a little bit, the caravan stops for a sec. You can hear the driver outside talking to the horses. Whoa, easy there now. Opens a flap that you see this sort of scruffy looking man kind of look over to you and is like, "We're at the outsides of Baron's Rest. This is about as far as I'll take any of you that are going this way." You see one of the other people in the caravan get out. You see Crowley is is sort of getting out of the way for you to be able to get out. Points to the exit of the caravan. Is like, "Is your stop, I'm guessing?"
Yeah, I have some business to do with here.
Well, maybe good business for you. I still got a bit of ways to go myself.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'll keep an eye out for you, Crowley. Take care.
Oh, likewise to you. You make your way out of the caravan, setting your feet into the ground, which now goes from being a bit rocky to starting to be almost a little bit sandy. The driver then turns back to the horses, flicks the reins, and pulls the caravan out from where it was sitting. And you sit yourself at the edge of the settlement of Baron's Rest. What would you like to do?
Ooh. I would like to see if there is a sort of main building here, or maybe like a guild place where hopefully most people are like conversing seated or anything like that.
All right. I'm gonna say give me a investigation check.
Okay. My first roll.
So go over to the skills on your character sheet and just put your mouse over the one that says investigation and click it.
Oh, I have a -1. Okay. Ooh.
So you're looking around and you don't really see anything that's looks anything like a guild building or anything. You do, for the most part, it seems like most places where people are trying to talk for gossip or just information and whatnot is either in the bazaar, which is sort of like the market area of the rest, or in a tavern that's located a little bit further away from the bazaar.
Ooh. Taverns. Okay. I think I will walk into the bazaar. No, actually, I'm going to the tavern. I have a good relationship with taverns.
Tavern?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go to the tavern.
That being said, can you dip out and grab Lou for me, if you could?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Hi.
Aye. So
I
you're in
don't-
trouble.
Out of my law. And then someone told me worshipped, and I was like, oh, that's right. Anyway, yes. Hi, I'm in trouble. Why am I in trouble?
Hi.
What has happened?
You're not. You're not. I'm just fucking with you.
No. Well, at least wine and dine me first. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, you got me there. Okay, so we cut out from the rest and we move across and maybe a little bit further back in time than the morning as of right now. We go to a sort of another empty spot within the wastes of the Outlands. To yet another sort of campsite area. There's no cruiser in this one, but instead there seems to be what looks to be the shape of a horse, but is for some reason made of metal? We're not going to question that, but sitting within the campfire, we have, for now, our last player character. So, Lou, would you like to introduce yourself?
The man sitting at the fire is a lovely little Asmir. How do you say the word?
Asimar.
Asimar. I can speak English. Called Icarus, and that's it. Just Icarus. Last name's be fucking damned. He's quite a buff boy. He's built. He's a little stocky man. He is fucking covered in scars though. Like there's shit chipped off his horns. Like everything's just chipped. Everything's got a cut in it. Nothing's pristine. He's just like ragged. But like in a weird way that he's just chill. He's just so tired. Though he does have like it looks like a tattoo on his arm that like goes up his neck. but it's a little finicky because it's in his eyeball as well. No idea. But that's enough for now.
Also, for
And
those
he's
of you
not
who
a
are
bottom.
wondering- For those of you who are wondering, yes, Asmar can have horns. Deal with it. Fuck off.
This particular breed can.
Fun. Moving on. Icarus, you currently are sort of staring at the campfire. You kind of do this a lot throughout the night. You're sort of staring at the campfire, and during this time, you're kind of thinking about how everything happened, sort of going back through your memories and whatnot, to figuring out how you sort of got in your current position. And
Would you
one
like
of the
me to read out my book?
No, stay.
No.
One of the sort of first flashes of memories that you have in this case is falling in darkness, being surrounded and enveloped in waves of shadow that sort of close around you from above and open up from below. Sort of the next set of images that you have is being surrounded in wood and fire and, for lack of better words, chaos. Sort of the next thing you remember is walking by yourself through a storm of sand, being blind, unable to figure out exactly where you're going, where you've been, and why everything hurts so much. How does Icarus sort of react as these memories are once again resurfacing and having flashbacks within his mind?
He's been having these flashbacks for a very long time. Like, a very long time. So he's kind of used to it, but it doesn't really make it hit any less. He's still very angry about everything that happened that day and the days that followed. He's not like it affects him, but he doesn't really like to show it anymore. He just kind of sits there and watches the fire, fiddling with whatever his hands like pick up, just flicking it back and forth.
In this case, it's your hands occasionally pick up sort of small twigs, the occasional rock and whatnot. You sort of drag the sticks along within the dirt. You flick the rocks. Some of them end up ricocheting off of your horse a little bit. Not enough to cause damage, but just kind of enough to try and keep your mind distracted. You see the horse turn its neck to you, and spouts of steam or smoke, you're not entirely sure what, sort of just kind of spout from Nugget's sort of nostrils in a sort of depressurizing noise.
Mm.
You can tell that Nugget's not really offended by this.
Icarus just kind of looks at him and is like, he's used to this, it's fine.
Before you get another sense of a flashback, you start to feel almost a wave of cold surround you. You've felt this before lately, and it's not exactly a temperature change, but a sense of energy that's sort of emanating this cold. And you felt this before. And as you do, coming from sort of the darkness is annoyingly familiar to you. You see a figure with long, pointed ears, very pale skin, and for some reason is dressed way more fancy than any other member and any other person within the Outlands that you've seen out here. This is... Oh god, what was the name of this guy that I gave him?
Is it Zeppy?
No.
Oh.
It is... Where is he? Where the fuck is your thing? Oh, there it is. This is Corvolio. For lack of better words, the butler.
The butler of who?
Technically, of your patron, but considering the circumstances, partly yours as well. You see Corvolio makes his way over to you, kind of gives a light bow. Master Icarus, it's very good to see you again.
Hi. And why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of your brother and patron, for that matter.
Yeah, and
Well, to put it simply, he has a job for you.
And what is the job?
How familiar are you with a settlement known as Baron's Rest?
I know its name. I've been there a few times. Why?
There is someone within the Rest that has put out a call for assistance in regards to a certain situation. Your patron, Lord Zarias, wants you to go on this job and recover something throughout this mission.
Yes, why are we playing the pronoun game? What am I recovering?
There seems to be some sort of a magical artifact that has been catching notice to mages that are trying to research a particular historical event that could be of some consequences. And not only that, this particular mission so far happens to reside in a location that happens to be within partial territory of the Night Heralds.
Of course it does. Fine. It's not exactly like I can say no to this job.
You must assist the person in question, recover whatever this artifact is, and when you do, I shall return and take it back to Lord Zarias.
Okay. Do I get the person's name, or are we gonna continue to play the pronoun game?
Make your way to the tavern known as the Sandy Drider. The host, known as Callie, will fill you in on the rest.
Right.
Oh, there is one other thing that needs to be mentioned about this. You won't be alone in the job.
As in, there is more of people like me or other people?
The group in question does not have any connections to Lord Zarias, though with one person in particular, Lord Zarias has asked you to show some form of restraint.
Pronoun game, let's keep it rolling, buddy.
I assure you, Master Icarus, you'll understand why when you meet this person in question. But as for everyone else, as I said before, they have no connections with Lord Zarias. But they will also be contracted by the owner, by the host of the Sandy Drider to be a part of this job. But your
Right.
particular skill sets and connections to Lord Zarias will allow you to have a what's the term? Side quest?
You're sending me on a side quest.
Again, I'm not sure if that's the correct term. In my defense, I've technically been dead for longer than this modern era.
Uh-huh.
Think of it as an additional step to the job at hand. And one that will put you a little bit closer to the goal that you have in question.
Right, well, as I said, not like I can say no. Don't want to upset dear old Zeppy.
Of course.
Is there anything
And you
else?
see... No, I believe that's it. I was going to say, if you have any complaints, well, it's not
Nope,
that hard to
just-
get hold of me.
No, just pass on my condolences to my brother.
Very well. You see, damn. I wrote this name and I can't really pronounce it. God damn it all. Corvolio starts to turn around, walk away. You see sort of the wisps of dust kind of trail along behind him as he soon, quite literally, fades out from the material plane.
Right. With little butler gone, he's gonna like pack up his little cap and set off to the town on Nugget.
Right. Thankfully for you, it's not that far off. At this point, I'd say you get there maybe close to mid-morning or so. Nugget is definitely looking a little bit exhausted from the entire ride itself, but is still otherwise, for lack of better words, active.
What Nugget? Right, well. Harris is gonna go find the tavern, straight to the job.
All right. With that, I would like for you, just for another brief sec, I would like you to get back to the bathrooms, and can you bring Carlo drag his ass back here?
Yeah.
I'm here, sir.
All right. So you got just this one brief one for a quick sec, and then we're going to be dragging everyone else back in. So for you, Yuri, it is now pretty close to about midday or so. You got a long rest, I will say. You wake up and you hear the sounds of your children conversing with each other. You hear bustling going down in the living room. Natasha is like probably up to something. And as you wake up, you hear what sounds like tapping on glass. And you turn your head and you see what looks to be some form of a sort of, for lack of better words, a messenger drake sort of tapping its claws against the window of your bedroom.
Wipes his eyes tiredly, stretches, like looks over, confused, and gets out of bed, walks over, opens the window.
The drake kind of steps sort of a little bit closer onto the windowsill. This particular messenger drake in question is of the sort of black dragon variety, and you see it's got a bit of a harness with a like small satchel along its back, and you see inside there is what looks to be a piece of paper folded inside of it.
Excuse me. Sorry. Have I ever had any experience or seen this drake ever give me a message before?
Give me a history check.
Yes, sir. Jesus. Oh boy, 8.
I mean, you've gotten mail before by messengers before. Drakes, you can't really think of 100% because they're so uncommon in comparison to things like ravens, vultures, hawks, that kind of thing are more commonly seen. But off the top of your head, you can't really think of anyone associated with a messenger drake.
And he like, it's like weird, okay, and then like reaches out and tries to grab the paper.
The drake lets you. You undo the flap. You grab the paper, redo the flap. The drake then it kind of turns around, kind of opens its wings, flies off. You open the note, and for one, this is definitely something addressed to you, as it has your name written at the top, and right below it, you see the words, "Come meet at the Standy Drider, Callie."
Oh. He looks at it and nods to himself and goes, "She better have found something." Furls it back up, kind of like walks to the living room, and kind of like looks, and goes, "Hi, good morning, everyone. Natasha, can we talk for a sec?"
You see, at this point, you see that Natasha is in the middle of cooking something a bit more breakfast-ish in comparison to last night. See flames decorating, or not decorating, are sort of being sprouted from her hand to try and light the fire to help cooks and with the pan and whatnot. She turns to you, smiles, and goes, "Oh, yes, of course." Flicks her hand, the fire goes out. She looks to the kids and goes, "No, Alexander, Darina, behave. If you set anything on fire again, you'll be grounded, okay?" You see the two of them look to Natasha and in unison go, "Yes, mother."
He smiles and walks over. Just kind of like he kind of walks behind her, and like puts a hand on her shoulder, and goes, "Honey, I know we talked about last night. I got a letter this morning. I don't know if I've ever introduced you to one of my friends, Callie. I don't know if you've ever met her before."
Oh, yes, the one who owns the tavern, yeah?
Yes, that's her. I think she's found something, some sort of lead or something like that. Point is, look, I know that I've spent a lot of time into trying to figure it out already, but with your permission, I want to at least talk with her, and I won't be gone long, but
You can see there's a small sort of look of disappointment on her face after last night, and she just kind of looks at me and is like, "Oh, my Yuri. Yes. Before you say anything, yes, I am a little disappointed, but like I said last night, or was it early this morning? Regardless, like I said, I know that such a big change for you is hard to do overnight. But, and also I trust Callie more than I do that waste elf that runs that scrap shop. Yes, but as long as you are back and able to spend some time with the kids, okay?
okay. I promise I won't be gone long. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. Okay?
You better, otherwise I'll scorch you. And not with my hands, I'll scorch you with my cooking. You hear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I hear.
Right.
And
Now, get dressed and actually find a clean shirt for once.
yes, ma'am, I will. Yuri has completely tossed the shirt that he wore this morning. And yeah, gets dressed, walks back, and goes, "Oh, and Natasha,
Yes?
I know I haven't said this in a long time, and maybe it's cheesy and you don't like hearing it now, but I always liked saying it when I was younger. My flame will never die as long as I am by your side."
Yodi. You see, she kind of blushes a little bit, which you would think is hard to see in a fire genasi, but no, you can definitely tell she's blushing a little bit.
He kisses her on the cheek, and he's gonna walk to his kids before he heads out.
You see, the two of them are sort of bickering a little bit between what looks to be a piece of breakfast meat. You see Katerina is going to Alexander and is like, "No, it's mine. No, it's mine. You had the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, but you had the one before. You just..."
Okay, share. Let's share. Remember, sharing is caring. Remember.
They both turn to you, and Katerina was like, "But Papa, he had more yesterday than I did." And Alexander's like, "That is a liar. That was you." And they start going at it again.
Okay. Why don't we try to reach an agreement that will make both of us happy? I mean, okay, I don't know who it was that had more yesterday, but, and he leans in, but do you know what I heard? Is that your mom is making a lot sorry, your mother is Your mother is making quite a heavy breakfast this morning. And she will only give extra pieces to children who are extra good, okay?
Give me a persuasion check.
Let's see. Persuasion. 15.
Well, it wasn't going to be that high of a DC anyway. It's your kids, for Christ's sake. You see, they both kind of light up for a little bit. You can immediately feel the stare of Natasha looking at you as if, like, what? As if looking at you and wanting to say, what are you getting me into now? But that immediately kind of helps settle the two kids, and they both just kind of go, yeah!
He like scratches both of their heads. It's like, okay, now listen. Your father is going out on a brief. Your father is going to be going out on a brief journey to speak. I won't be gone very long. I'm going to meet with one of my friends, and then I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. But while I'm gone, I want you to be very good for your mother, okay, and treat each other with respect, and always share, okay, because sharing is caring.
They both in unison go, yes, Papa. And then Alexander looks to you and goes, are you going to be talking to the dragon lady?
He nods and goes, yes, I am surprised you remember her, yes.
If she asked, I didn't do it. Natasha just kind of groans in the corner. It's like, Alexander.
He sneakily gives Alexander a high five.
Natasha then kind of walks up from behind, puts her hand around the back of your waist, looks to you and goes, and then turns to Alexander and goes, and when your father gets back, I expect him to be talking to you about what happened this last time, okay? Alexander just kind of lets out a bit of a loud-ish gulp.
Oh yes, we will be having a serious discussion about these consequences. And then he winks.
Katharina just kind of looks at Alexander. It's like, you got in trouble. Alexander's just like, Katharina, shut up. Alexander.
He looks between all of them, and looks at Natasha. You sure you're gonna be okay?
It's our kids. It's not like I have to take care of an entire orphanage, but I should be okay.
Okay. He kisses Natasha on the forehead. And gives a forehead smooch to his kids as well. And before he leaves, he says, and remember, kids, remember what I said about the fire not dying out as long as we have each other.
Yes, Papa.
He waves and heads out.
All right. Ping the rest of the group if you could. I want them all back here.
Got it, my man. Yo, what up?
Dude, just in time, and bullied as
Tyrone, fuck you.
You're bullying me.
Girls were fighting.
Don't steal Rose's line.
Okay.
Seriously.
Really.
So
Howdy.
now I can safely say that all of our characters are in Baron's Rest. Bigby, Arakion, you two at this point are already in the tavern. And I'd say at this point, the next person to come in would actually be. I'd actually say it would probably be Yuri. So, Arakion, Bigby, you two are sort of sitting there enjoying your food when you see this person walk through the door. This guy has got. You guys can kind of tell what he is. This is a fire genasi, an older one, but fire genasi nonetheless, is making his way in. Yuri, you see a kobold and a green Drak'Unri sitting at a table not that far from the bounty board. There's like maybe one other patron at this point that looks a little hungover but is still getting food. And as soon as you make your way in the door, you see Callie, the black Drak'Unri woman that is the host and owner of the Drider, make her way out from the back, looks at you and is like, Yuri, thank freaking gods. I was wondering when the hell you'd show up.
Looks at Callie and is like, sorry I took so long. You know how it is. Being a father is very time consuming, as it turns out, as is being a husband in general.
Honestly, I thought you would be here later, but I'm glad you got here nonetheless.
He goes, right, well, what do you have for me? Did you find something?
Yes, before we do, we actually have like maybe one or two other people that actually need to be showing up. If you could actually maybe sit where those two are, points to the other Drak'Unri and the kobold. Hopefully the others should be showing up sooner than later.
Okay, sure. Callie, this better be good though.
I wouldn't have called you if it wasn't. And hey, I know you've had some trouble, but if you get lucky, then I'm hoping I'm hoping you do, because it just kind of leans in. Not gonna lie, I've been talking to Natasha a little bit, and she's been kind of getting a little concerned about you.
Yeah. We had a talk this morning. So even coming here, she was mad at me about it. So let's make this snappy, perhaps.
All right. I'll do the best I can. But yeah, no, go sit over with those two. Did you have breakfast yet? I could whip something up for you.
Oh no, you don't have to. I ate before I came here, so it's alright.
All right. Oh, that reminds me. I need to eventually trade some recipes with Natasha. I'll maybe stop by another time, but that one recipe she gave me about a week or so back ended up being a really big hit. Tell her I'll be giving a portion of the profits of that over to you guys as sort of a thanks.
Oh, well, she will definitely appreciate that. I'll go ahead and walk over to the table where the other two are seated.
Bigby, Arachnon, you two are occasionally hearing the conversations between Callie and this Genasi. Definitely by the sound of it, he is one of the other people that you guys have been waiting on, and is slowly making way over to your guys' table.
Well, Big B, apparently we have company.
Old company by the looks of it.
Yuri walks over, sits down. There's like, sorry, I don't mean to bother or be annoying. Is the seat taken?
No.
Okay. Do you mind if I sit down then?
Are you a part of this this thing that Callie wanted us for?
Apparently, I think so at least. I think that's.
Then go on, take a seat.
All right. Yeah, sits down, all grumbly. Looks over. I'm terrible with manners. I'm sorry. Yuri is my name.
Raytheon. Well, you can just call me Racefelger.
I'm Bigby.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Have either of you been here before, or?
A couple of times. We pass by here every now and then to get some supplies and say hello to our favorite bartender.
I heard that. You hear from the back.
I mean, you have good taste, though. Callie is definitely definitely this place's finest. But don't tell. Anyways, Callie is great.
Indeed. So,
Right.
Yuri.
And also, out of curiosity, Jerome, odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you guys.
He gets to pick.
Hey. Where do you come from? I don't think I've seen one of your kind anywhere.
Oh, I come from around here, actually. Lived in pretty much this area all of my life. Never been anywhere else. Don't really care to be honest.
Well, how come we haven't really seen you around every time we come by? Or at least more of,
I mean, you know about the whole thing where things are crazy in this continent, first of all. But my family has been trying to pretty much stay out of everyone's business, and just mind our own,
I see.
Do you two come from around here, or are you from somewhere else?
Well, I'm just at least I come from mostly down south, a little further, but nothing more.
I come from below the area, literally.
Below? Do you mean like directly south of here, or?
Underground.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the tunnels.
Right. Okay. Sure. Is that I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think how to respond to that. What's that like?
Well, as you are.
It's a lot darker down there.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of getting into this, next one of y'all to come in is actually Icarus. So, Icarus, you get your way to the rest, make your way over to the tavern. You get in, and kind of like the same setting as before, it's, for lack of better words, decently empty for right now. There's like maybe one other patron that's nursing a hangover. And there's this one table with 3 other people in there. A Drac Henri, a kobold, and a guy that looks like he's on fire.
Well, then, just
and once again, kind of like when Yuri walked in, Callie pops her head open. You see this black Draconry woman sort of poke her head out, kind of make her way out from the back, and it's like, "Hi, welcome to the Sandy Drider. Can I help you?"
I'm actually here to help you.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. It's just I wasn't really told what you would look like. You know how those kind of things work. Maybe. I don't know. But, no, why don't you go set yourself down with that group over there, points to the other Draconry, the Kobold, and the Fire Genasi.
Thanks. So he walks over to the table with a fucking scythe strapped to his back, and he just kind of walks over there and he's like,
So
Hi.
Arakion, Yuri, and Bigby, you see Callie talk to another person. Kind of looks like a tiefling with the horns. Not gonna lie, that's probably everyone's first assumption, is that this is a tiefling with this sort of weird ass purple tattoo that sort of stretches across his arm, and also has a big fucking scythe on strapped to his back. Oh, also, next thing you know, Icarus, Nugget pops his head through the door as if also trying to walk through, and Callus like, "Oh,
Nugget, no.
shit, you have a horse." Nugget stops. Thankfully, hasn't damaged anything. The door frames may be a little cracked, but just slowly starts to back out. And Callie's just kind of looking as like, "Is that a spell tech horse?
Yes.
Where the fuck did you get a spell tech horse?
He found me.
That is terrifying.
Yes.
Please go sit at the table."
Yep. No questions asked. He's like, just doesn't want to talk about the horse. Goes over the table.
Yeah, no, the rest of you, after seeing Icarus, just all of a sudden sees a spell tech mech horse trying to make its way through the door and then just back out.
Hi.
Interesting.
Icarus walks over the table and he's just looks at them, wondering if they saw the horse. And just kind of just stands there like, "Hello?"
Was that yours? Or
Yeah. That's a horse.
cool.
Are you here for the thing that she wanted us for?
Yes. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting at the table. Yeah.
Arakion, actually, I want you to make me...
Motherfucker.
You know what? Make me a straight intelligence check, if you could.
Oh,
Shit.
how smart is it?
Motherfucker.
God damn it! I keep clicking the wrong fucking. There we go.
Okay, 12. You got a decent look at that horse. Aside from Callie's obvious shouting that it's a spell tech horse, you can tell by the design it's maybe a fairly old one too. Like, you're not entirely sure how old, but it definitely wasn't made within this current era.
He's gonna keep this in his head as a mental note. He's not
Okay.
really gonna say anything about it to anybody, to Icarus.
Actually, not that long after, Terrace, you are making your way over to the tavern, and you just literally see this mechanic horse pull out from the doorway and just kind of set it off to the side before you make your way in.
Taurus actually doesn't instantly make itself into the tavern and walks up to the horse.
No, don't.
Taurus.
No, I don't care. Nugget will kick you.
No. Taurus has never in his life seen something as intricate as this, and kind of is just peeking at it, seeing how this is like all mangled up at each other, and how this horse is supposedly working.
I'm gonna say give me an investigation check.
I'm good at those.
Again.
I hate you.
Damn, get fucked. Oh,
That's what you get.
I'm just looking.
You
Don't
look
look at my
at this. You look at this metal horse, and your first thought is, "The fuck kind of armor is this?"
Yeah. No, that sounds about right. I make that
Like you're literally trying to figure out whether or not, like, where the straps are to this horse's armor. Icarus, give me a perception check.
Oh, this is gonna end in a fight if he notices.
Roll good.
Oh no,
Oh
dirty
my
20. It's true, it's gonna get fucking tackled through a window. It's up his horse.
Icarus, as you're talking to these guys, you turn your head towards the window to make sure Nugget is doing all right. You see a half elf is just looking over your horse, trying. You don't know what the fuck he's doing, but yeah, no, there's a half elf. There's a half elf in armor that is just looking over your horse very closely.
And Chris just abruptly leaves the table. No, like, and not giving any explanation, and just goes straight out the door. And just looks at the half elf like, the fuck are you doing?
Is this is your horse?
Yes.
How do you get on it? I don't see any straps.
Step away from the horse.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. Takes 3 steps back. Don't want to get into any trouble, buddy. Don't worry. It's just taking a look. I've not seen any spell tech in years.
Huh?
This is spell tech horse, right?
Yes. Why do you care?
I used to see a lot of spell tech in my days, but haven't seen spell tech in a long time. So I was just curious. Just taking a look. Don't worry.
Meanwhile, back at the bar, Callie is seeing everything that happened, is just kind of turning over to the rest of the group and is like, should I get the betting pool out for when they fight?
I'd give it 3 minutes.
I give it 2.
You know,
I'm betting on 5.
I like you guys. Unfortunately, Callie just kind of looks at you guys and is like, well, unfortunately, I don't want them to actually wreck the bar, so please excuse me. Walks up to the door. Actually, no, walks to the window, opens it to where Nugget is, opens it, pops her head out, is like, hey, if you guys are going to fight, can you move like a few feet away from the bar? Yeah, fuck you. If you guys are going to fight, can you move like a few feet away from the bar so you're in the open road? Also, if you destroy anything in this bar, you guys are paying out of your damn pocket. You understand?
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not looking to get into any of the fighting sort. I was just admiring the horse. Don't worry. As I say that, I pass by Icarus, making sure I don't hit Icarus and walk into the bar.
As you move, Icarus is just like death glaring him as he walks by, like, don't hit me, I dare you. Fucking shoulder tap me, I dare you, motherfucker.
Yeah, Callie just
very sure not to hit Icarus.
Yeah, Callie just watches this, points to Icarus, and is like, behave in my bar. You got that?
Ooh.
He just blinks and then has flashbacks to like when he was talking to someone else and is like, oh, it's that motherfucker. He's like, Dolce just clicked it in his head and he's like, fucking fuck you, and walks back inside the bar. He now knows
Callie-
why he has to behave.
Callie looks to you, Terrace, and is like, well, welcome to the Sandy Dryder. Out of curiosity, how would you feel about doing a quick bounty job?
A quick bounty job?
Okay, maybe not super quick, but honestly, these guys would probably need one more for what's going on. But yeah, how would you feel about doing a bounty job? Sit down with them, and I'll explain everything.
Okay. I don't know how I'm feeling about instant violence, but sure. I'll tag along to see what this is about.
It looks to the group again and is like, oh shit, I need another table. Just kind of makes way to the one end of the other end where one of the open tables is, just kind of grabs it and starts dragging it over, no problem, to make it a bigger table for you guys.
Women.
You
All right,
can't
who's
agree,
gonna-
you're a married man.
Who's gonna fuck this one?
Oh.
None of you guys. Fuck off.
Ah, lesbian.
Winks at Callie. I'm joking.
Okay. Eventually, you guys start to settle down. Callie looks over to you, Taris, and is like, in the meantime, can I get you anything? Food, drink? Not alcohol.
Ooh.
It's not noon yet.
Can I just get a water? I have been on the road for a bit.
All right, fair enough.
I will
What?
buffalo oil.
I'm sorry, what?
He just points to Nugget through the window as an explanation.
Oh. Yeah, I think we can get something. Yeah, we can get something for that. Forgetting that's a spell tech horse. Makes her way out. You hear some...
He's old. He's a little rusty.
You hear some her shouting in the back. Hey Todd, we got any oil?
Fucking Todd.
No, not the good kind. Not the food kind. Oh yeah, Jerome.
Todd.
One thing I will say, in this campaign, there's always two names that will be reoccurring with NPCs: Todd and Daryl, and they're usually together.
Okay, gotcha.
And they're not.
It's a
every
thing.
single Todd and every single Daryl is not related by anything at all. They're just
Nope.
that.
It's just coincidence that there's a Todd and Daryl.
And we must always hate them.
Okay, gotcha. Fuck Todd.
Yeah.
At that point, you see Callie come out with a couple of other people, one of which is a Goliath who peeks his head out, sees the horse, goes back into the kitchen, and within like maybe a couple of minutes comes with a pail full of oil.
Yeah.
The other person that comes out with Callie is a human in robes. I want everyone to... Yeah, you know what? I want everyone to give me a perception check.
Oh shit.
16.
8. Eyes are focused on that pail of oil. He's making sure his horsey gets it.
Finally, the double digits, guys. Oh.
Hey, congrats. All right.
Congrats, you're a bottom.
Okay, so I'd say everyone. Oh wait, yeah, no, there we go. So yeah, everyone except for Yuri and Icarus. You look at this guy's robes, and right off the get-go, you can tell that this guy's robes are a little bit more fancy and almost way too clean to be someone from the Outlands.
Huh.
Be on the lookout.
Callie sets a chair at sort of one of the ends of the table for this person to sit. And the figure in front of you is, as I said, a human. I'd say about mid to late teens, has a set of glasses on his face, sort of semi-ragged black hair. The robes themselves are mainly a blue with sort of green etchings and designs scattered across it. He looks to you and goes, "So, am I to assume that you all are the ones that Miss Callie has asked for this job?"
Indeed.
I guess you could say that.
We are.
Right. Well, I think introductions are in order then. My name is Matthias. Matthias Dane. I'm a, well, I'm not sure how many of you guys are going to react well to this, but I'm technically a member of the Arclight Order within the Republic of Tyrus.
Keep his name?
What was that?
What was his name?
Matthias Dane. Dayne.
Would you mind putting that in the chat?
Yes.
Matthias, how did you get in the Outlands with such a background?
Well, you see, it's honestly my particular part of studies within the Arclight Order are sort of more dedicated to the historical aspects of things, and in particular, history and sort of artifacts of maybe some of the other nations. We have a few, for lack of better words, parties that occasionally come out and investigate ruins of temples, old cities that used to belong to the old Atherin Empire.
Aha. Okay.
Forgive me, how many of you actually do know what the Arclight Order is, out of curiosity?
Ooh. Would Raytheon have heard of it? Do I?
I'm going to say, for those of you who would like, you guys can roll a history check.
All right.
Can I roll with advantage for the history check?
Damn. At 10.
For what reason, if I may ask?
I don't think I can say it out loud.
DM it to me if you could.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is
Okay. That reminds me, I need to fix my fucking notification settings. I'm gonna say. Once I finish seeing the rest of your freaking typing.
By keyboard disappeared on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. But for actually, I'm gonna say in this case, no. You'll still have to just roll straight.
Aww.
Yeah, nice try.
But it's a good reason.
It's a good reason, which is why for you, I'm gonna say the DC is probably gonna be a little bit lower than everyone else.
Did I still miss it?
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
So, let's see, who actually all rolled?
I've been having nothing but shitty rolls for the entire time I've been rolling these dice. That's
okay.
That's,
So Yuri and Icarus. I will say the two of you have Yuri. You mainly know what the Arclight Order is because this technically isn't the first time that one of them have made it through the Outlands, especially through Baron's Rest. The two of you know that the Arclight Order is technically the organization within the Republic of Tyrus that is dedicated to magical arcane practices and sort of teaching them to those who possess the knowledge and or skill to actually wield the arcane. Yuri, you mainly know your knowledge about this because, like I said, members of the Arclight Order occasionally make their way through Baron's Rest, as it is one of the only well-known settlements within the Outlands that is not only close to the border between the Outlands and Tyrus, but you know that it is also one of the only settlements that is close to the, for lack of better words, the fortress that you've heard some other people refer to as Checkpoint. As for Arakion and Bigby, you guys have heard the name, but you're not entirely sure the exact details. You just know that you've seen I will say you guys have seen people around areas that say they're from the Arclight Order, but you don't know entirely what they are as a people.
Yeah, Bigby's just giving Matthias like a blank stare while he's talking.
That sounds about right.
Have I met, like, personally any of the Arclight Order that have come to Baron's Rest, or?
You've probably asked them a couple of knowledge things in particular, but you will know for certain that not a lot of people who are from the Arclight Order that come out here usually stay for long because of the fact that it is the Outlands, and because they're from Tyrus. Not a lot of people actually like them, and the only people that may or may not be willing to be more tolerable with them is maybe the clan members from either the Lions of the Sands or the Marked Militia, but even then it is debatable at best.
I might have talked with a couple of your people before. If I'm not mistaken, you are from the Republic of Tyrus and sort of responsible for teaching those who are wanting to learn the ways of the arcane and practice it.
Yes, that's correct. No, myself in particular, I'm more of a researcher than an actual teacher. However, I will say that this particular job in question is, well, the reason we actually asked for hires is because most of the times when anyone within the Arclight Order actually makes their way into the Outlands, they're less than hospitably treated for various reasons, to which most of the times we either have to take soldiers from Tyrus's military with us as an escort, or we have to hire out people from the Outlands to act as, well, to put it bluntly, bodyguards.
It's the Outlands after all.
Exactly. This in particular is in question is not only that, but maybe something a bit more of the investigatory sort as well. You see, I am associated with a group that were going to be on our way here in the Outlands to meet up with our, for lack of better words, superior, an archmage from the Order. We were said to be going on an expedition somewhere within the one of the ruins within the Outlands, maybe I want to say a few days ride from here, give or take. You see Matthias pulls out a map, rolls it out, and you can tell that it isn't the bestly drawn map of the Outlands. Like, there's like the stuff that are mainly closer to the border of Tyrus and the Outlands are more in detail than maybe the rest of the place, rest of the map. But you see on this map in particular, there is a symbol sort of off to the sort of south, sort of the sort of southeast to sort of southeast area of the Outlands. And he goes, this was where we were supposed to meet up. And actually, originally, the Archmage was supposed to be meeting us here, so then we'd all be escorted back. But as I said, we are a research group, and there is a possibility that he might have gotten a little bit too distracted, which actually has happened more than once. There was one time when we actually, on an investigation within the forests of Elisari, beautiful, very dangerous. You can see Callie's like, dude, they don't care. Get to the frickin' job. Matthias kind of clears his throat. It's like, yes. Basically, you all are to act as bodyguards, and, well, in the case that the Archmage has decided to wander off, or as if knows what, help try and find him, and quite possibly whatever it is that he was wanting to research in particular, which he was the head of the expedition and had more knowledge about this than the rest of our group. So I'm not entirely sure what it is that we're supposed to be looking into in these ruins.
You mentioned you need bodyguards. Is there already a known reason for this?
Well, as I said, it is the Outlands, and most residents within it don't really enjoy the sight of
a group as large as this for just bodyguards.
What are we getting out of this?
Well, for one, I'd be happy to pay you in gold, but if at all possible, I may be able to bequeath each of you a certain item of uncommon magic quality if necessary. I understand that in some areas here that gold isn't exactly the best means of financial stability.
Interesting. And that's all you need, just bodyguards. Where to exactly?
Like I said, the spot where the research site was supposed to be. Rakion, as you're looking at this map, I want you... You know what? Yeah, let's just go for another straight intelligence roll, if you could.
Hit that shit. Roll good.
Damn! What's with my shit rolls, man? Come on!
Hey, DCs are low in this. DCs are low enough in this. So you're looking at this map, and you're looking at where this research site is. You know from your travels, like sort of across the Outlands, this research site happens to be near sort of the outer territories of one of the Raider clans.
Do I know which Raider clan?
This one in particular, it occasionally fluctuates, but to the best of your knowledge, it's either the Night Heralds or maybe the Reavers.
And when he looks at this map, he says, looks up to Matthias and says, you do know that there are Raider clans around this area, especially they could be Reavers.
I wasn't entirely certain. I mean,
bodyguards.
That's why. No, I just wanted to let him know that, just in case if he wasn't familiar with the area.
Unfortunately, I'm not. I haven't really been. I haven't been here in the Outlands before. This is actually my first time here.
All right. Well.
Where's Matthias sitting at the table?
So most of you guys are. So as of right now, like I said, it's a combination of two smaller tables. So at this point, it's kind of more of a rectangle. Matthias is sort of sitting. So you guys are sort of surrounding a couple of the long ends and one of the shorter ends of the table. Matthias is at the other short end.
Where am I seated compared to Matthias?
I'd say you are probably one. I could say that's entirely up to you. You can be a bit closer. You can be a little bit further away. Depending on how weary Terrace is of Matthias.
I would like to sit next to him and give him a bit of just below the shoulder tap on his right arm to say, hey, with a group as big as this, surely nothing is not gonna happen. But the tap on his arm is long enough to try and feel of something.
So what are you trying to do in particular with this tab, or do you want to just DM that to me?
Yes, I'll DM that. Give me a second.
All right.
While he's DMing that to you, he does say, kind of like looking to the both of them, saying, even if it is a large party, we must be wary. These Raider clans are nothing to mess with. I would know. And that's any Raider clan, so we mustn't get cocky.
That's sort of the reason that my family and I try to stay out of any clan's business, is because they're ruthless out here.
Yeah. Get that.
Sorry, just doing this one last.
Bryce Velker, have you had any run-ins or experiences with any Raider clans before? Any clashes?
I have in my time. Yes. Let's just say that a few of them aren't too fond of others poking in their business. Hell, or even being anywhere near them on their turf. They're very territorial, and you want to stay as far away as possible from them. But
You had a run-in with them before?
I have.
How did that end up?
I barely made it out of there alive. We barely made it out of there alive.
And Matthias kind of. Actually, I'm gonna roll something here. Okay. Matthias looks to you all and is like, now I have a better understanding as to the sort of severity in this case and why the Archmage decided to try and hire out bodyguards and going through our friend Callie here. Callie's like, yeah, nah, I know this particular mage in question. He's not, unlike a lot of people out here, he's not an asshole, but sometimes he doesn't really know what he's getting into. The bodyguard thing was more my idea than his. Matthias looks to Callie and is like, and I very much appreciate that. And as for the rest of you, as I said, for this particular job, if you would like to be paid in golds, we can arrange that. If you would like something of an item of maybe a sort of uncommon magical variety, we can do that as well. There's also maybe an exchange of like knowledge, information, anything like that. We can discuss that more when the actual job itself is complete, if that would be all right with the rest of you.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
Yes, but I will need to prepare myself.
Oh, yes, take all the time you need. I will be waiting for you all outside of Baron's Rest here.
And he's actually, Raytheon's gonna look over to Bigby, and he's gonna say, you ready for this?
Sure, should be no problem.
Especially with our experience, things like this. Yeah, these types of experiences are much needed to keep the blood flow.
As long
You see
as
also at this point, Matthias gets up, kind of bows his head a little bit in respect, and makes his way out of the tavern.
Right. And he's gonna stand up from the table and he's gonna say, all right then, I'm gonna go off to Doc Mandari and I'm gonna get a few things. As for the rest of you, I don't know. But I'm gonna be meeting back here in about 2 hours. And then we can carry on.
I need to tell my family that I'll be gone for a little bit longer, I suppose. And see if my wife will be happy about that. Darius, Icarus, do you trust this whole situation, or?
His story checks out. I believe it's his first time in the Outlands. Doesn't
If it's
seem
trap, we can
he's the
just leave
type.
him.
Also true.
That's true.
But I would rather not leave a wizard to fend for themselves against raiders. Long distance, long taking magic against people with quick motorcycles and stuff like that. I don't think he'll make it out alive.
Fair enough. But
If he deceives us, he probably has a reason to, and we can maybe find it out.
Yes, I agree. I think we take the risk. I see no.
Yeah.
I see no reason not to.
Yeah. His story for now on checks out. I don't see any weird things that he said.
I'll be back here shortly. Just gonna check in with my wife and kids, and I'll be back.
Good luck with the wife.
Thank you. I'll need it.
Waiting for the group to get back together. I might as well just get my breakfast because I just woke up from a long ride. And I walk up to Callie.
So Taris is staying within the tavern. Bigby and Rakion are heading to Dokmandari's. Yuri is heading to back home. Icarus, are you just going to be staying in the tavern?
He's gonna go chill with his horse.
So you're just going to be sitting outside of the tavern.
Yeah, like he's like sitting on top of Icarus, sitting on top of Nugget, but the wrong way, and he's got his feet like on Nugget's ass, and he's just like cross-legged, leaning back against his neck. He's just chilling.
Nugget is having close to. Yeah, Nugget is just like having no arguments about this, and is honestly just enjoying himself and the bit of oil. We will cut over to Rakion and Bigby. You guys make your way a little further down the street into close to another side of the outer areas of the bazaar, where you come to a shop that looks like a mix of tents and sort of a tattered building. You see a sign out front, as worn out as the rest of the area, that says Doc Mondari's Scrap Tech and Scavengery.
Right? So once he arrives, he just walks in and give the doc a good old salutation.
Yeah. The two of you walk in, and as soon as you do, pretty much like always, it's a fucking mess in here. You see various bits of knickknacks, looks to be almost junk, scrap, all sort of set aspects of different metal and maybe even more spell tech pieces just sort of scattering around. And as the door closes, you see a head pop up, and from there you see a older, you'd guess older, looking waste elf, white, semi-slicked back hair, with a little bit of stains of sort of black or brown from grease, maybe. A set of gloves around his hands, a set of goggles on top of his head. His eyes are sort of illuminating in this sort of radioactive dark green. You can tell there are also bits of other green coloration patched across his entire skin. He also has what looks to be a tattered old shirt and a very, very grease-stained apron on him. Looks over, and as soon as he sees you, you see this elf smile, just kind of walks over and is like, "Hey, Reisvelga! Been a long time, Rangara."
What's up, Doc? You know this at this point. You can just call me Rakion.
Fair. Well, it's been good. Business has been fine. I didn't realize you made it back to the rest. Hey, how's the cruiser treating you? The blade job from last time still doing the trick?
It has. Thank you. And it has been running quite better than ever before. Honestly, I think it's better than the first time I got it.
Yeah, glad to hear.
But you know,
like I said,
you and I.
like I say, you ever need another upgrade job, you come to old Doc Mandari, yeah?
I shall. So,
Right.
what have you got in stock? You got anything new?
Oh, going out on another job, huh? You don't take too long. You see the doc goes kind of closer to the back, kind of looking around, and it's like, and as he's kind of looking through his stuff, is kind of talking out to you, and Big Bean is like, so, what kind of job you take this time, huh?
Well, it and an escort mission mostly, protection, like basic thing. Just trying to keep them out of the hands of any raider clans that may be out there.
Let me take a guess. Some sort of scraphead wizard from the Border Nation, huh?
What? How did you...
Translation.
Yeah,
A wizard from... Yeah.
a wizard from Sagan? Sorry?
Wizard from the nation of Tyrus. You know that waste elves... Okay. Yeah, from spending your time with Mondari that a lot of times waste elves and occasionally some people from the Outlands have some sort of weird ass slang that occasionally takes some getting used to understanding, but you've been around Mondari enough to kind of understand what he's saying.
Okay. Actually, precisely that. How'd you guess?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people come in for that kind of a job. Let's see. Let's see. You see just picking up a bunch of things like, nope, not finished. How dangerous of a job we talking here, Angara?
Well, we're staring down the barrel of, the loaded gun of the raiders, so I'd say moderately dangerous, depending on FAC.
Which raiders this time?
Honestly, it could be one of two. Either the Reavers, which is, the biggest problem that I'm mostly afraid of. But then there's also the Night Heralds.
Gara, what did you get yourself into?
Well, he promised us a gold or a moderately decent magical object or whatever for all the people. So that means that we technically get two of them.
Fair enough. Well, if you're gonna be running into the Reavers, you're gonna need some to take out mass quantities of them. I think I actually have the trick. He pulls out a couple of what looks to be some type of glowing liquid encased in both glass and metal. Sets it sort of on the counter and is like, this has been something I've been working on for a long time. Throw these, cause quite explosion.
What do you call it?
Honestly, I haven't actually thought of a name for them quite yet. It's a bit of it's a bit of an experiment. I'm guessing you're also going to want to be needing some ammunition for your gun?
Indeed, yes. It's gonna be quite a long journey, so we're gonna need a nice amount. Just to make sure we don't go low.
Right. Let me see here. Goes through another side, starts chucking stuff. Is like, no. That's probably not a good idea.
During this, he's looking down at Big B. He's just like, I see what you mean now.
Mondari eventually comes back with a couple of canisters of two different types of ammunition. You see one of them is marked with a flame and the other is marked with a lightning bolt, and it's like, now I know you've probably experimented with this kind of thing before, especially since I gave you the notes on it, but these couple of things here can end up doing your normal thing, plus they get a little bit of extra power. This one here causes a little bit of a flame to end up burning them, and trust me, that's always fun to watch. These ones here can do a little bit more of can give a little bit more of a shock, and quite possibly might even stop them in their tracks for a time.
And what could you, how much would this be for us to just, grab?
Well, that honestly depends. You got anything interesting on yourself, Rangara?
I'll have to take a look. Yeah. Well. Yeah. How? Okay. Well, here. Hang on. So he's gonna check his person for any gold, and he's gonna put all the gold that he has on the table, and he's just gonna lay down 2 silver pieces.
I feel like you should have more. Hold on, let me check something here. According to your background, you should technically have 10 gold.
Oh, I probably didn't write it down then.
It must have gotten taken off somehow. So yeah, no,
well,
technically you have... So yeah, no, technically you have 10 gold.
Well then, yeah, Alright, so he puts down the gold pieces, all 10 of them, he says, just, would this get it all? I can, also check the cruiser for anything else in the back. Maybe he can give you something that you can tinker around with, get you some good ideas.
Give me a persuasion check.
You got this.
Look, that's exactly what we were talking about.
What's the Jerome
Did not one.
First nat 1 of the fucking campaign.
This is exactly
That turned into a fucking zero.
So, Big B, do you want to try and find some way to help give your buddy here some help?
Well, it's true. We have interesting things in the back of the vehicle. I mean, I've been trying to keep some of the things for myself, but if we must part with them.
All right. Rakion, I'm going to say with your nat 1, roll with advantage to see if you can get something better.
It's impossible to go worse.
Sure, you want me to roll?
Yes, you.
Me?
Just roll.
Perfect nat one.
God damn. No.
No way.
Fucking
Just
hell.
like Zelrun, I could I sucked at rolling in the beginning of these campaigns. I don't know why this happens to me.
A stick could be better at this. A stick could persuade better than this.
Well,
You see the
I
doc.
was just like, hey.
Hey, haggling, I warned you. You see the doc kind of Tisk looking at it and it's like, for the combination of these things here and the ammunition, I'm afraid that it's not really going to be enough at the moment, but I'll tell you what. I will take the gold because it is you, and I know you're good for it. And I'll allow you to have, say, 10 pieces of each ammunition. And that's it.
No. Well, I can always trust you to give me high quality items. So it's not like I'm just getting it for such a, such low quality shit for such a cheap price. So, what the hell? Go on. You've served me well enough in the past, so I'll take that deal.
I know you'd be, you know me. And he hands you the couple of cases of ammunition. I will mark that in your character sheet later.
Okay.
Until then, unfortunately, we are actually going to end this episode here because I have other places to be at the moment.
Boston.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, the time fucking flew.
Yeah,
Seriously.
So yeah, thank you all for being a part of this first episode of Fear of the Outlands. We will. Until then, have a good week and happy 2024.
First stream.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed my stay.